Greetings, virtual mechanics and syrup makers. Thanks for clicking and stopping by on this short guide on being a rural street racing cannabis farmer in the wonderful, amazing game of Mon Bazou. Are you a car enthusiast who landed here in curiosity about the game? Well, then check the upper corner. I left a link to the beginner's guide for more information about everything that it has to offer, and trust me, this game will improve your escapism hours greatly. For those who already know, let's get this pot-producing party started. From the earliest days, players can get their farm started in the grounds of the RV. All that is required is a little adventuring for seeds that are located at the top of the windmills on the outskirts of town. Running near the base of the tall towers, you'll find a door, which leads to a ridiculously long climb up an epically long ladder to locate a small red box at the top. Typically, you'll find at least one a week, and they regenerate by every Monday morning the game rolls through. Getting a farm started can begin with a single plant, as every harvest cycle will provide one seed back with the chance of a second bonus seed. Over a few weeks of consistent planting, it's not too difficult to store up 100 plus seeds for later use in our underground bunker. It will probably take you far more time to acquire the 40,000 investment needed to contract the build through the weed dealers located on the main continent portion of the map. The part we really can't see on here. But don't worry, I've got two travel methods and routes which you can use to get there, and I'll show both of them later in the video. First, let's talk about small town weed dealing. So you've got everything planted, and percentages are ticking away. That's great. Don't forget to water daily and check the outdoor plants for infestation. Luckily, this isn't something that we'll have to care about once the underground bunker is finished, as no infestations can occur within the indoor environment. Not only does the enclosure upgrade come with more protection of the crops, there's an entire indoor plumbing to support it, along with a composting machine that's built right in. So this is a worthwhile investment for 40,000 if you're attempting to substantially boost your income across the game, but it also takes out a few mundane tasks, leaving you freed up to do more tinkering with bolt-on upgrades for the Koenig. For now, you can harvest bud into small amounts and sell to locals. If you haven't already, pick yourself up some harvest baskets from the decoration store for $32 each. We can buy 2 a day and may need to if we're super serious about launching our cannabis empire. It can take about 10 or so harvested plants to fill up an entire basket, but it doesn't need to be full in order to process the joints. Proper procedure for proper joint rolling: players must drop the harvest baskets near the vicinity of the RV's living rooms, retro couch, and coffee table. Literally sit down, take a breather. The game demands that you do so before you can punch the grinder to initiate the joint crafting process. Through sheer video game magic, 10 packs of joints float down onto your tabletop, stacking neatly on top of each other. Should you have enough bud to craft 10 of these packs, they can be further stuffed into a bulk size by clicking on the blue rolls that look like painter's tape nearby. Perhaps start saving now, as it requires 12 of these bulk size packages to unlock the weed dealer's barn. And that's our ticket in the door, so that we can even start negotiations for this underground bunker. You can balance their stash between saving and selling, as the 10 joint packs will net you around $65 a sale, with a handful of NPCs in town that will purchase from you. Jacques, Norman, Raymond, etc. But you have to tick off at least 5 friendship levels with them before they'll trust you enough to buy. Folks like Giles, Melanie, and Eric never will. And while this might not sound like a great use of time, occasionally the NPCs will request the larger packages of 100 joints for $500. It's entirely random which one that will be, but it's worth having a few packs in the car when you're making trips to town, and of course, you'll want to keep some joints to yourself for anxiety purposes. It ultimately depends on how eager you are to start your growing operation. There's planters for sale at the decoration store that will help expand on your cannabis grow if you're trying to speed up the whole process. But here's the cost breakdown of options. Your initial investment is the 12 bundles of joint packs you could otherwise sell for $500 to townsfolk. That's 6,000 dedicated towards the project, but you will get paid 370 each by the dealers to invest back into your bunker purchase. One can also buy a small boat that's located off the cul-de-sac near the post office for 14,500. This makes quick and easy trips to the dealer's barn from the dock behind your RV or cabin. This is, of course, very optional, as you can truck a load of cannabis across the bridge to the mainland. I've found out the hard way that my car didn't have the traction to explore the area before any tire upgrades, or at least not with a trunk full of bundles that apparently add some considerable weight to the physics. It's convenient to hop a ride on the school bus from your RV into town to do the boat purchase once you have the 14,500 saved for purchase. You might want to bring along a full gas can with you. You pass the farmer's market stand, into the first neighborhood, and look for the cul-de-sac area on the right. If you hover near the door, the bus will come to a stop and let you out. Walk to the street and down the embankment to reach the small dock where the boat is waiting. Click the sign to purchase and load it up with some fuel. This useful addition allows you to circle the island from the perimeter. From what I gather, we'll eventually get fishing added to the game to make more use of this besides just having it as a transport for our weed empire. There are pre-existing docks at both your home RV and the cabin, and here are some approximate routes to help you reach the dealer's barn using the boat. On this map, I mark the route for reaching it by car or truck, going straight through town, past the sawmill, and crossing the suspension bridge reaches the mainland portion of the map. Following the road will eventually get you there, but the fastest route involves keeping to the left and looking for a dirt road that veers uphill. This will wind around, leading you back towards the coast where the dealer barn is located. Consider within the timetable that the underground layer for all your cannabis requires a lot of power and the generator just won't be able to handle it. One of the startup costs in this whole ordeal is the $29,800 to initiate the permanent electrical hookup of your RV. This is a lot, but totally and completely worth it, as the power will also be one less expense or hassle to your syrup crafting. Oh, and don't forget that power bill that will make it to your post office box every other week. It's due before the next billing cycle. Should you get shut off, pay the outstanding balance and the electricity will be restored within a few days. Upon delivery of the 12th and final joint bundle to the dealer's barn door, it will unlock, allowing us to go inside and browse the inventory available. Bunker contracting services aren't the only thing available. You may find these giant harvest baskets a nice luxury item, and there's an upgrade for cutting french fries in here, along with the composting machine and the mega bundler. After purchasing the upgrade at the barn, it will take about a week of waiting for its construction. But once you get the notification that it's done, check the bathroom for a secret switch by clicking on the bathtub. It's a fun fashion for the entire bathtub to raise up off the ground and reveal a staircase to your new basement. And quite a large basement that it is, complete with several useful machines, including your base bundler, fertilizer compactor where you can turn potatoes into crop boosters. Among the greatest advantages of this upgrade to your game is that the automatic watering and fertilizing systems that suspend from the ceiling, so that you'll no longer have to hoof it back and forth with the watering can. As long as the cylinder mounted on the wall is stocked with fertilizer, it will also rain down a green mist to speed up the crop production. To make fertilizer, grab a basket full of taters, and click on the little wooden box below the fertilizer cylinder. It will periodically pop out small bags to load into the machine or save for later. If you haven't already been stockpiling them, I recommend buying all the planters that you can daily from the decor store in town. If you're going for maximum money making, then over 100 of them can fit in here. One more of the recent updates provided a grid feature to help you get them down into straight lines. I tried my best before that update was released, but I'm not about to move all these planters that are already installed. Investing further into the bunker, you can get a potato cutter and packaging machine that makes the fry bags a much faster turnover without all the manual labor of constantly clicking on the cutter that's upstairs on the kitchen counter. There's also an upgrade to the bundler that will increase the marijuana packing size from the 10-pack equivalent up to something hay bale sized for easier storage and transport. It won't take you long before you become a small tycoon, turning over hundreds of thousands in the green stuff. And this concludes another short guide on the Mon Bazou series. If you're looking for other tips, check out the beginner's guide on my playlist. I'll be getting around to doing some mods on the Koenig in the future while waiting for the next updates to be released. We also have that racetrack facility to unlock. There's more than plenty to get done in the game. But for now, take care and bye-bye!